What are the necessary traits that students should have for the century?
The 4 C's, let us see. So the first is excellent communication skills. Ask yourself how many students in your batch, when we studied the way we studied, are confident in speaking even about themselves to an audience. They don't have that self-confidence of standing in front of an audience and even speaking, and communication skills is very central. Second is critical thinking. Very, very essential. Third is co-working. And people send emails even to the person sitting next to them rather than getting up and talking. And last, where I come from, is creativity. It's like the superpower of this 21st century. It's like your signature, which nobody can replicate. Excellent communication skills, critical thinking, co-working, and creativity. 4 C's of this century.
Education is not the learning of facts, but training of the mind to think. It's a very famous quote from Albert Einstein, and we're going to be discussing about the same topic today and explore about education. Hi, I'm Jyoti and welcome to yet another episode of Meteor Talks, your go-to podcast for insights straight from the industry experts. And joining us today is a very distinguished guest who is the first faculty to Flame University, the pioneers about liberal arts education in India. Dr. Suniti Vadalkar. She's the first faculty to join Flame University with over 40 years of experience as a designer, educator, researcher, and today she is here to talk about liberal education.
Hi.
Hi. How are you, ma'am? Welcome to the show. Indeed a pleasure to have you here today.
Likewise.
So let's get started. So before we begin, the first thing that I would like to understand is your journey. With such a wide spectrum of experiences from different fields, I would want to understand more about your journey.
All right, so where do I begin? If at all I have to, tell you 40 years in a nutshell, that's quite a span. But I'm a designer. I studied in JJ Institute of Applied Art. That is way back in 1985 to 1990. Then I came to Pune after my marriage, and I was heading my own advertising agency from 1995 to say 2004 end. And in 2005, I became the first faculty to join Flame University as a research assistant. Even when the land was not purchased, the way I came to know about this noble idea is because my agency rendered services to one person's multiple businesses. He is Mr. Parag Shah, and he had many photo labs and he had construction businesses, and my agency rendered services to his businesses. So I came to know that he is coming up with this idea of bringing in student-centric education in India, and that fascinated me. So that's when I decided to close my business and I became the first faculty to join Flame University. So that's in brief.
Oh, fantastic. So how has your journey been? You are an entrepreneur, designer, and are you able to somewhere blend this together, and how do you find your journey associate your previous experience with education?
Yeah, I always say this, that my journey in short has been from balance sheets to becoming a student. So previously I was continuously with so many companies, and they are managing their businesses through advertising. And now I have become a student, unlearning, relearning, and then trying to understand, to make meanings from everything that I have learned. And I think that's like the cherry on the cake, because after 40, I again began unlearning of everything that I had learned before. And that's what Flame University gifted me. And I have no words to thank them for this initiative and for what I have received from them. So that's in a nutshell.
Okay, and so clearly it is like, you enjoyed this segment of or this stint of your career as a professor.
As a student.
Oh, right. Fantastic. So to understand a little more, diving down to the next thing is liberal arts education. So a lot of students who come to me is asking about they want to probably make a career in economics or maybe interdisciplinary if it is possible, and they do not have any clue about it, and that's how they reach out to us, like probably I have interest in economics or probably I may have interest in computer science. So that's where I probably normally suggest, I always suggest for Flame University. And what is your take on this? Like, but they would want to know what is liberal arts education. So that's when that's how I begin with today's topic.
All right. So the word liberal comes from the Latin word liber. The word itself means free. Free for what? Free to make your own choices. And with freedom comes responsibility. So when students come after the 12th standard to the undergrad, they can select subjects according to their choices in these 5 universes of knowledge, as we call them, to help people understand them better. So first you have the physical and natural sciences, wherein you have subjects like physics, chemistry, biology, environmental studies, mathematics, applied mathematics, this, that and the other. Then you have humanities, subjects related to literature. Then you have social sciences with psychology, economics and a list of other subjects. We have global as another universe of knowledge, wherein you have foreign languages beginning from Sanskrit, Urdu, German, French, Mandarin, this, that and the other. And then of course design, art and performance, where I come from, again, wherein you have sculpture, music, dance, theatre, Western music, Indian music, Western dance, Indian dance and design, of course. So students can select between these subjects. What does that do? It makes them take accountability at a very young age. So liberal education gives a bottom-up approach because students are taking responsibility. After 12th, if at all a student joins the conventional BSc, BA, BCom or whichever disciplines colleges are there, then it's a top-down approach wherein the faculty or the professor says, okay, fine, these are the subjects and you have to study them in this semester because they have been prescribed by the university. So I look at this as a top-down approach. And I feel liberal education is a bottom-up approach wherein the student is at the center of learning and not the subject.
So as it's a student-centric institution.
Yes. A student-centric university with helping students to understand the linkages between different subjects. Because the minute you say, I'm taking commerce after 12th standard, then conventionally we feel that a person doing commerce has no relation to physics, no association to biology, nothing related to humanities, nothing related to any foreign language or much less art and performance studies and design. So that's a common mindset which usually people have. But knowledge is one word, knowledge is one ocean, and it gives you great joy if as a student you are able to discover the linkages between different subjects.
Correct.
So that is the premise, that is the foundation which only liberal education offers, and that's what Flame has brought about, a shift in the current, in the existing, previously that existed education pattern, bringing in student-centric learning, because even two siblings are not the same, two twins don't have the same choices. So that makes learning very interesting. Usually otherwise you see students, once they are done with their undergrad, they don't have any intention to study further. Very few of them have, because maybe the subjects are taught in a boring manner or what has been coming from yesteryears, that only is being taught. But over here in liberal education, because it's a bottom-up approach, like I said, students take responsibility for the subjects they have chosen. So especially in Flame, besides these 5 universes, we also have certain subjects called as the core subjects, which are mandatory, which are given from the university. It could be something as simple as public speaking and debate, ethics, digital literacy, financial literacy, AI literacy, critical thinking. So these are subjects which we label them as core subjects. Correct. So they are given by the university and you have to complete all of them.
All right. So there's a normal understanding of people like, liberal arts education is only for human sciences or maybe social sciences. So only students from humanities can pursue this course. So is this a myth or a fact?
To me, it's a myth. It's, understand the historic context. See universities which existed in India like Nalanda, Ujjaini, Takshashila, the ancient universities, or see the yesteryears wherein you had kings in different places. So the prince would go to the Gurukul to study from the Guru in the forest.
Correct.
Or these universities which I spoke about, Nalanda, Takshashila, which existed in India, they had this liberal education framework. So the prince going to the Gurukul would definitely learn languages, Sanskrit or whichever language, economics to understand how to run the kingdom, farming,
Right.
horse riding, archery, which comes in sports, mathematics, astronomy, science, so much of diversity.
Right.
So that is very central to the Indian ethos of education. It is only when the Britishers came to India and saw the creative potential of the people over here, maybe it was, to curb that. They put this BSc, BA, BCom, which became silos. So for 200, 300 years when they were here, we also grew up understanding that this is the way education should be. If you are doing arts, you have nothing to do with science, and if you are doing science, you have nothing to do with commerce. So I think it was because of that span which we had, wherein the Britishers were here, who put in this system. Most of the Indians today have this mindset. But knowledge is one ocean, and it makes learning interesting. If anybody can see the linkages between all the disciplines. You can't study economics in silos of not knowing the historic context which comes into humanities, of not seeing a global context of international relations, of not seeing the financial aspect of how it is impacting the economy of a country. So all these are very interrelated, and liberal education gives that lens to the students. So that makes learning very, very engaging and interesting. So that's the way I see it.
So the message here is liberal arts education is not just about humanities. Okay, it is an interdisciplinary program where students from different streams, subjects of different streams can be intertwined together and make a course of it, right? Thank you so much for this, and I'm sure that it would have kind of cleared a lot of air about liberal arts. Now, how is liberal arts program different from a regular college? That's another question which normally parents ask me.
Yeah, I think I already answered it. The normal college after 12th, if at all you don't take a liberal education, it is a top-down approach wherein subjects are given to you. Say for example, I did 11th and 12th in science. So the semester-wise portion of physics, chemistry, biology was already defined. Semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, semester 4, 5, 6, whatever. But in liberal education, although the semesters are there because we need to have a time frame, the student is given liberty to select the courses and a major minor. So a student could be doing a major in finance and a minor in filmmaking, or a major in communication studies and a minor in dance, or a major in economics and a minor in design. So that is the choice a student has got to select subjects according to his or her choice. You could tell us about what your daughter did.
Yeah, of course. I mean, she did her major in communication studies from Flame University and minor in gender and literary studies. And she's absolutely, I mean, more than what she studied, that was one thing, but also the kind of personality that got developed by the end of 3 years program was phenomenal, and which I can proudly say and see in her, as a mother. So definitely. And also that what I would want to understand is the assessment pattern also different from a regular college?
Yes, it is different because say a student doing 12th science and coming, a student has little understanding about what goes on into humanities or social sciences. So we have a smaller student cohort wherein this professor can attend to every student. That is one. And second, we have a continuous assessment. So after every 2-3 weeks, we have an assessment, a small test or a quiz, wherein the student understands where he or she is with comprehension of that particular subject. So continuous assessment is very integral to what we do at Flame. Now there are so many liberal education universities across the country. But I can vouch for what we do at Flame for the different subjects that we have.
And I second on it.
Yes, thank you.
So, and another thing what I wanted to ask is these are the questions which normally, what I'm asking you are the questions which normally parents ask me and which I'm bringing it out to you. So, what is the degree that you get by the end of 3 years? So, you have both 3 years program as well as 4-year program. So, what is the degree that a student gets by after finishing this program?
That depends on the major the student is doing. So if at all you are doing LCS, that is what your daughter did as a minor, literary and cultural studies, you will get a BA. If at all you are doing applied mathematics, you will get BSc. If at all you are doing BBA, marketing, communication studies, it could be BA. Yeah. So it depends on the major that you are selecting. So the degree, goes according to your major. Now we have the School of Design. So if at all you take design, it's going to be BDes.
So a point to note, parents, here is that a student gets a BBA degree as well as, maybe depends upon the program. So the end of the year, end of the program, they either get a BBA, BSc, BA, BDes, depends upon the course that they take, right? Thank you so much on this. And what are the career opportunities? What is the scope of liberal education after finishing a 3-year or a 4-year program? What is the scope?
Liberal education sets the foundation for you. So if at all you have got a very broad and strong foundation, on that you can build your skyscraper. So I know so many students who have taken psychology as a major which comes into social sciences, but further they have gone into natural sciences to do something in environmental studies. I know a student who has taken marketing as her major, but she has gone on to do public policy at Harvard. So students, after having this broad-based understanding and getting a grasp on the linkages of different subjects and understanding how to seamlessly meander through them, then they can build their tower in their masters. But if this foundation is only missing, then it becomes very difficult. So that mindset, again it's a mindset. Like I know for my generation, that is 50 years back definitely. So if you did BCom, you have to do MCom, then you have to do CA, so it's a trajectory. You do BSc, you do MSc, then you do PhD, it's a trajectory. That has been, disrupted through liberal education. Why has it been disrupted? Because knowledge has been shown to students as one ocean, and that linkages and the seamless possibility of meandering through the disciplines has been introduced to students. So that is what makes it very interesting.
So let us simplify. You have already simplified it very nicely. But what I was asking, supposing if a student has done a BBA in communication studies, all right, from there and a minor, like for example, my daughter's done a CLS, right? LCS. So now she can choose doing masters between communication studies or maybe gender equality. It opens up doors for
everything. Yeah.
Right. So that is another point to be noted, parents, where it gives them the opportunity to pick any course after their undergrad program. Masters, it can be MBA program or masters in whatever they have majored or even minored, right? Yes. Thank you so much for this, ma'am. The next is what kind of skill does liberal arts education build that helps students in the long run across careers? I think we have cleared this point, no? Okay, we'll go for the next one. Okay, now you are the you were the HOD for design and arts. So how do you feel that design blends with, because there are we have dedicated colleges for design programs, right? So how is Flame different in terms of design as against the proper or a normal design colleges?
Flame is the only university, I guess, in the world offering a discipline called as experience design. Like I am a graphic designer, that's what I studied 40 years back. So people usually understand design, again, silos. People understand product design, fashion design, architecture, graphic design, communication design. So they see it in silos. See how the times are changing. Everything is on the mobile. So it's an experience. I don't know where my bank is because the entire transaction is on my mobile. I don't go to a grocery shop because Big Basket or whichever app is on my mobile. I book my cab on the mobile. So because that gadget only didn't exist 40 years back, how would the discipline of education exist 40 years back? So times are changing. So that's an experience. You may like a particular app, you may not like a particular app. Today you want to buy even footwear, you will not go to the nearest footwear shop, you will go to Decathlon, wherein under one umbrella you have more than 200 brands. You want to have coffee, you won't go to a normal coffee shop, you students may prefer Starbucks.
Correct.
So although they know that the amount they are paying for that coffee is exorbitant, despite that it is that experience. So people have disposable income and people want experiences. So under the umbrella of experience design, so whether you take Starbucks or Decathlon, it's an experience. When you get there, you do see a logo that comes in graphic design. You do see the crockery that comes in product design. You do see the interior which comes in interior design. You do see their promos on an app which comes in UI UX as an experience, user experience, user interface. So all this is the changing trend. And that's why Flame offers experience design. Even in liberal education, we have 3 experiential learning programs because nothing can match your experience. So you must have taken a virtual tour of how Flame is, but getting into the gates in the valley and even breathing that air, it's an experience and it doesn't match the virtual tour.
I completely agree on this as a parent.
As a parent, yeah. So that experience of being in the valley and seeing that, magnificent nature all around, it's an experience in itself which your virtual tour can't match. And that's why Flame has experiential learning programs even at an undergrad level for liberal education. We have development activity program at the end of the first year, which is related to an NGO activity which students do, which I'm sure your daughter must have done. Some NGO she must have gone to and written a report on that. So that teaches students to write a report. So imagine at the age of 18 coming up with an individual research report because academic writing has been taught as a core course. Then you have a group research project called as a Discover India program. Where did your daughter go? Do you remember?
I think she was during the COVID time.
Okay, so she couldn't go to any place. But that's a group project students do. So along with the faculty mentor, they step out of campus and they go to a particular place. They just can't say that I have my uncle's bungalow over there, so let's go. They have to convince the committee what is the research question they are trying to understand. And they have to come back and write a research report, make a 5-minute documentary, and also give a presentation to an external jury. So wherein your research writing skills, your creative abilities, your public speaking skills, all
of these stands out.
Stands out.
Yeah.
And the last
over the regular
program. And the last one is summer internship, wherein for the liberal education framework, wherein you have, according to your major, you need to work in the industry. So you need to understand what is it theoretically you have learned in class and how does it apply in the industry. So the summer internship program, which comes at the end of the second year, is the 3rd experiential learning program. For design, we also have a interdisciplinary research because in the School of Design, besides offering a BDes in experiential design, students can select 5 minors. So they can select between LCS or marketing or entrepreneurship or business analytics or psychology. So we offer these 5 minors. So according to that, they need to do a interdisciplinary research, which is very central to the BDes program in Flame.
All of this sounds so interesting. I feel like I want to
become a student again.
What are the necessary traits that students should have for the century?
In 2016, I guess around 10 years back, I was at Boston in Harvard. And a very interesting, acronym you may say, or insight one of the keynote speakers gave. And I keep saying that, and now it has become very popular, the 4 C's, letter C. So the first is excellent communication skills. Ask yourself, how many students in your batch, when we studied the way we studied, are confident in speaking even about themselves to an audience?
Right.
What do you think? On a pathetic
Absolutely.
Yeah, they don't have that self confidence of standing in front of an audience and even speaking, and communication skills is very central to this era. Second is critical thinking, very, very essential. Third is co working. Look at the office spaces, you see them in cubicles, and people send emails even to the person sitting next to them rather than getting up and talking, because gadgets have become an integral part of our lifestyle. We usually, have our conversations through the gadgets rather than talking and interacting with people. So co-working, very essential. And last, where I come from, is creativity. It's like the superpower of this 21st century.
Yeah.
And I always say it's like your signature, which nobody can replicate,
Yes.
which AI can't replicate.
Right.
So that's where I come from. Creativity, fine tune that.
Yeah.
So excellent communication skills, critical thinking, co-working, and creativity. 4 C's of this century.
So, in fact, now there are studies which is going on, like even for STEM courses. It is no more STEM, but it is called as STEAM, because the A is a very important component in the word STEM.
What is A?
Arts.
Okay.
So they're saying, like, even in engineering or any, since you were telling me about the creativity part, I'm saying, like, even for engineering or for commerce or any course that you take, art is an integral part and should be part of the curriculum.
Why is that?
They're asking you. I'm asking.
That's because arts is a discipline of knowledge which is anchored in emotions. And nothing can match your EQ. EQ is much higher than IQ, intelligence quotient. You should listen to talks by Dr. Daniel Goleman, who has written extensively on how EQ is necessary for leadership. So you want to succeed in your career. He had a very interesting, research done on people from a reputed organization. I think it was Google. So when it comes to academic qualifications, all of them were by far on the same level, because based on your academic scores, you get selected. But what was observed, what the people who scale up the ladder of success in that, once you enter the organization, people who had higher emotional quotient, EQ, went ahead faster, because eventually it is about people. It's about that bond which you create, and other subjects have limited inclusion of that, whereas arts are nothing but navrasas. Arts are nothing but having emotions into them. So whether you look at it from the literary and cultural studies or humanities lens, or whether you look at it from music, dance, theatre, filmmaking lens, you just cannot overlook the inclusion of emotions. And that is what has made STEM into STEAM, because people have realized the significance and the importance of art.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for your insights about liberal arts education. I'm sure most parents, you would have got your doubts clarified today through this session. And if you have any further more doubts with regard to Flame University applications or liberal arts education, please feel free to reach out to us. You can subscribe to our channel. You will get the notifications. So signing off today is Jyoti. See you again in the next episode.
Thank you.